Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about how to stay motivated to practice your instrument. I've come up with 5 tips. These are things that have worked for me to help me stay motivated in my own practice. So if you're interested in some advice for how to stay motivated and driven to practice your instrument, keep watching this video. Tip number 5. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced player, keep taking private lessons. For me, knowing that I have somebody to play in front of, a reason to keep preparing things, it really helps motivate me to pick up my instrument every single day. Private lessons are helpful for an endless number of reasons, especially with string players. I can't speak for all instruments, but it is almost essential to get good at your instrument. It's really hard to figure out string playing on your own. It's such an unnatural thing in a lot of ways. When else in your life do you have to worry about a bow hold or pulling strings down? We usually use our hands for pushing things and pulling things and grabbing things, and so viola is a different So violin, viola, cello, any kind of string instrument is a very different movement than your body is used to. So having somebody guide you is super helpful, and I really think that it's the only way to truly figure out how to play your instrument with ease and how to be good technically at the same time. So another reason private lessons are super important is because it will help motivate you to continue to practice, knowing that you have somebody to prepare something for on the rig. All right, moving along. Tip number 4. Of course, my air conditioning would have to go on right now. Anyways, so moving on. Tip number 4 is to schedule recitals. Why did my TV just go on? That's weird. Okay, anyways, again, this is just another reason to make you pick up your instrument. It's the same as having a 5K to run or whatever, you know, so that you have a goal to meet. It's gonna help you know that you need to pick your instrument. It's gonna help you feel like you want to play your instrument every day, having a goal, a finish line to get to. So that's why college was so great, because, you know, well, that's not why college was so great, but one of the many reasons college was so great was because I had weekly private lessons and I had a recital that I was always trying to get ready for. But you don't have to be in college to do those things. You can schedule your own recital. I've actually scheduled my own recitals out of college. I had one recital, it was more like a small, intimate recital at a friend's home. I had another recital at a church. There are many churches that you can call up, and usually they're more than happy to have you bring people into their church, and you sound awesome in a church most of the time. So that's a really good alternative if you're not at a university, or you could ask your private teacher for suggestions about recitals. But if your private teacher isn't pushing you to have a recital, then do it yourself. You don't need somebody else to do that for you. And know when you're scheduling a recital that nothing is ever going to be perfect. I don't think I've ever had a recital that I came out feeling like, yes, like 100%, that was everything I wanted to do. You know, I really don't. And I'm sure there are people that do. But my point is that the goal of a recital is not perfection. It's to help you get better at your instrument. Well, and recitals are really good and important practice for playing in front of people. Actually, I should totally make a video about performance anxiety, because it is real. Recitals will also help you get over that. Okay, tip number 3. Honestly, this has helped me recently really want to practice, and that is getting inspiration every day. Whether it's from YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever it is that you can sit down and watch content that makes you want to pick up that instrument. So I have a specific Instagram account, which I will link up above, and I follow accounts similar to mine, and gosh, you know, like when I see Chloe Trevor playing violin, I'm like, I've got work to do. And it makes me want to go pick up my instrument. And I've had other people tell me that my Instagram sparks that same interest in practicing, which is really one of my goals in starting my Instagram. So there are a lot of Instagrams out there like mine. There are a lot of YouTube pages where people post themselves playing. Get out there, find people that you want to play like, because watching people play will also help you become a better instrumentalist. You can learn a lot just by watching people and going, oh, like I really like his or her vibrato. what are they doing that I'm not doing? And you can visually see that. I try to watch people all the time. So whether that's an orchestra or in the content that I like to watch, I'm always trying to pick up on things that I admire about other people's playing. Okay, tip number 2 is to find music that you love. Now, not everything that you need to play, you're going to love. But what I have found that the more I play things that I don't naturally like or love, I start to like it, and I start to find the things about it that are really likable or lovable about it. So I always strive to search for that in the music that I'm playing. But what I'm talking about is for your own enjoyment. You should find some things that you really just want to sit down and learn. So for me, when I first started playing, something that I really wanted to learn were Disney songs. I really loved Sleeping Beauty Waltz. That's one of the first things that I can remember sitting down and trying to play by ear. And now that's morphed into much harder things, and I have found these pieces really on YouTube a lot of times, or reading articles. I read an article recently in Strings Magazine that listed a bunch of different pieces by I think 11 violists that they loved or felt were underappreciated, and so I searched for those and found that I'm really missing out on some awesome rep that I just want to learn. Not for anybody else, just for me. It's just so important to sit down and play your instrument. Now, it's also important to have good practice sessions, but if you can find something that you genuinely just want to learn or are driven to learn, then you're a lot more likely to sit down or stand up and practice your instrument. Look on YouTube, look on Instagram, do your own research. Go to imslp.org. You can find a lot of lists of pieces for your instrument, and that really goes for any instrument. So if I find a piece that I don't know, I look it up on YouTube, or I try to find a recording, and I have found so many things that are awesome that I never would have heard of otherwise that inspire me to play my instrument every day. And my last tip for motivation to practice your instrument is to set goals. Get yourself a planner, get yourself a calendar, whatever you gotta do to write down some goals. Whether it's, I'm gonna practice an hour every day, I'm gonna practice 5 hours every day, I'm going to try to practice most days of the week, I'm going to be able to perform this piece by this date. You know, there's an endless number of things that you can do to motivate yourself to reach a goal, and that's really what it's about. So I'm very goal-oriented, and I think most of us are, and you might not realize it, but if you set yourself a goal, you're a lot more likely to work hard for that thing. So this is no different. It's like eating well or exercising, any art form. If you set an intention and a goal for yourself, you're a lot more likely to continue to strive to meet that goal. It could also be like, I want to play this more in tune. I want a better vibrato by X date. Just to have an end goal for yourself is really motivating to want to pick up your instrument every day, to try to get better at it. In reality though, motivation is going to come and go. So you have to make practicing a habit. Gosh, these 5 tips videos always wind up becoming 6, don't they? When you practice every day, you don't want to miss a day. It becomes a little bit addictive when you see that you're starting to get a little bit better. That won't really happen unless you make your practicing a habit. So there are days that I don't want to practice and my motivation is out the window. I have just made it a lifestyle and something that I have to plan out. I'm not just going to miraculously practice my instrument for hours every day without setting aside the time to do it. Again, it's like any art form, any kind of exercising, any fitness goals that you have, it's all the same. You have to put aside the time to do it and make it a regular habit. Leave your instrument out so that you see it and you think to play it. Get yourself an instrument stand or something like that. So for some reason, this video has morphed into more than 5 tips for being motivated to practice. But it's also a little bit of a reality check for you. Nobody's going to have motivation 100% of the time to want to play their instrument. But if you can integrate it into an everyday thing, or mostly everyday thing, then it becomes a lot easier to know and want to pick up your instrument. Even if you don't have the greatest practice session on earth, picking it up and playing is better than not doing it at all. So set yourself some goals, find yourself some inspiration, make it a habit so that you sit down to play your instrument even when you really don't want to, and you'll be happy that you did. So I hope these tips help motivate you to pick up your instrument and practice as much as you can, even if it's just to sound good on your instrument or whatever your goals might be for yourself. You don't necessarily have to become a professional and have that be your goal. You could just want to sound good and be able to express yourself on your instrument, and that's totally valid. But I just think everybody deserves that feeling of accomplishment. Being an instrumentalist really gives you that sense of accomplishment and pride in what you do. So I really encourage you all to pick up your instrument and practice today and every day, because I know I'm going to. So if you like this video or want more videos like it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for your love and support. I really appreciate it. See you next time.